So today I'm going to be talking about playing over minor sequences, and as you'll probably have gathered, when you're playing stuff in rock, when it's major, it's a mixture of major and minor, and when it's minor, it's minor. So you would think, okay, that's got to be quite straightforward, can't be too many things to watch out for. That's not quite real life, is it? It's okay if you just want to play minor pentatonic straight through any of these sequences, that works. But what I'm going to be talking about here is just seeing if we can put a little bit more descriptive power into what we're doing. So I'm going to start with the premise that we're in A minor. Okay, now the A minor itself doesn't have any particular preference about how we might approach it scale-wise, and I'm going to explain more about that as we go along. But let's just say for the moment the A minor doesn't really mind which avenue we might take. Okay, so what we have to concern ourselves with is what happens after the A minor, so where the chord sequence goes after the initial root chord. So let's say we've got A minor and it's going to F. Okay, so there's a lot of songs that do this. Yeah. Okay, now with this particular instance, we can see, if we look at the construction of the A minor and the F, and for that matter the G, there are no black notes in it at all. So what that means is we can actually play a C scale through this sequence, and it's what I'm going to call type 1. Now, the only reason I'm going to call it this is because, to my knowledge, nobody else has ever called it anything. So this is the first one, I think. So it's the first one of two, I should say. So we're going to add a C scale to our A minor pentatonic. Now, this crops up in a number of places. I think most obviously what you should be thinking about doing is use something that's close to where you are. So I'm going to just show you a little graphic here. So we've got our A minor chord, and then we've got a C major scale in second position. So just have a quick look at that. Okay, now we should be able to move relatively easily between those two, let's call them shapes. This is principally about just getting your hand in the right place. Now that sounds like an oversimplification, but when you boil it down, really, if I'm here and I've got my first finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, then in my mind I'm thinking, well, okay, I'm playing minor pentatonic. If I've got my 2nd finger there, I'm thinking, well, I must be on the bottom of a C scale. So a lot of this is about just organising your fingering so you know where you are. But okay, let's suppose I would have played a line like this. Okay, and I could just as easily play that over the F. Okay, so here's the same thing, but I'm going to add a little bit of the C scale to it as well. Okay, so you see that little turnaround? This is one of the areas that wasn't really that much used to us early on, without having some of these extra dropping off points. It gave us this kind of very wooden, that sort of sound. It's not really what I'm after. I don't know about anybody else, but anyway. So what I'm thinking here is, well, okay, I've got some extra notes here. Okay, now just because because I've got that C scale there, it doesn't mean to say that what I don't want to do is to replace one scale I'm getting a bit bored with another one that I'm going to get a bit bored with. What I need to do is try and blend them together. So the idea here is to move between the scales. So joining the scale at the bottom, is not particularly difficult once you get your head around the idea of just making a little slide to connect two positions. If we're going the other way, so the idea here I've moved into my pentatonic. I can even go straight to the passing note from there. Okay, now, as ever, it's very important to do these, or to attempt these things in small blocks. So in other words, you want to know all about one thing. You don't want to know a bit about 300 things and you can't remember any of them. That's no use. So I'm going to stop this particular video at this point, and in the next part we're going to look at another area we could connect our C scale to our A minor, and also another type of what I would call a type 1 sequence. So just to summarise then, so far type 1, A minor to F. Okay, but more about that in the next video. So thanks very much for watching, and please if you could press the subscribe button, that'd be great. Bye for now.